making some gentle movements. So perhaps rocking gently from side to side to start with. And then bring your legs out in front. If you're not used to sitting cross-legged, you're probably desperate to bring legs out in front. You can support your hands behind you if you want to, and give your legs a little bit of a shake out. And then take some rotations with your ankles. So either direction, doesn't matter which way. Rotating ankles. And then rotating in the other direction. And then point your feet. So you're pointing your toes, trying to really stretch through the tops of your feet. And then flex your feet. So heels lift off the ground, nice and strong through the shins, really lifting up. You might feel this right the way up into your thighs. And then again, point toes, so really pointing your toes as hard as you can. And then flex feet. So you lift your heels off the earth. And relax. Bring your hand, take your hand underneath one thigh, doesn't matter which thigh, bend and straighten your leg a few times. And then take some rotations with your lower leg. And the other way. Nice. Bring the leg out in front, allow it to hover just a few inches off the earth and rotate from your hip. And then rotate in the other direction. Some fairly small circles. Yes, your thigh will burn. And then pop the leg back down, swap sides. So take the other leg, support underneath the thigh, bend and straighten the leg a few times. And then rotate the lower leg. And the other way. And bring the leg out in front, allow it to hover just a couple of inches above the earth. Rotate a few times. And the other way. Lovely. Now bring your legs to a fairly wide position, so quite a wide leg position. So it doesn't need to be as wide as mine, whatever is comfortable for you. We will all be in different places, so work with your body. And then inhale, bring both hands up overhead. Exhale, turn towards your right foot. Bring your hands down either side of your leg and come and look over your right shoulder. Try and flex your feet. This will keep your legs nice and strong. Keep twisting over the right shoulder. Trying to keep a nice straight spine. Keep lifting up through the crown of the head so the sides of your body are nice and strong. And from here, on an exhale, start to lean forwards. You can walk your hands forwards and you should come so you're facing with your nose roughly over your knee. Again, work with your body, work with where you are. We'll all be in very different positions here. And just breathe into the stretch. On an inhale, then walk the hands back up. So you come back to looking over the foot and then bring yourself gently back to center. And again, inhale, lift both hands up overhead. Exhale, twist this time to your left hand side, bringing hands down either side of your leg, turning to look over your left shoulder. So again, nice and straight through your spine. Try and keep shoulder blades down your back, nice and long through the sides of your body. And then on an exhale, start to walk your hands forward. So again, you come to having nose roughly over your knee. Notice the differences between the two sides. They might be many, they might be few. And breathe into the stretch. So nice deep breaths. And then on an inhale, walking your hands back up. So you're looking over your foot, and then very gently bring yourself back to center. Place your hands on the earth in front of you, and then gently walking your hands forwards, padding them forwards, so you come to a forward fold. So again, we'll all be in very different places here, so work with your body. If you've got any lower back stories going on, then take a nice big bend with your knees. And then breathing into wherever you are, knowing that wherever you are is absolutely fine. And then inhale, walk your hands all the way back up to center. And come over to an all fours position. Here to place your hands directly below your shoulders. Your knees are below your hips. And we're going to take a few cat stretches. So drop the belly and inhale as you look up. And then arch the back and exhale as you look down. So inhaling, belly drops, head comes up. Exhaling, tailbone tucks, back arches, chin comes down towards your chest. To keep this going, work with your breath. So you inhale to up cat, and you exhale till you've arched your back. And then gradually come back to neutral. Bring your right foot so it comes to the outside of your right hand. So you're in a kind of one knee position. Lovely. And then bring your right forearm to rest on your right thigh. So you're on one knee, you're resting on your right thigh. And then take some nice big rotations with the left arm. So really opening up the left side of the body as much as you can. So trying to make a nice big circle. Lovely. Then bring both hands back down to the earth. Leave your foot where it is and take some rotations with your hips. So these circles can be as small or as large as feels comfortable to you. Again, every body is different. And then change directions. So whichever direction you were moving in, move the other way. And then gradually bring that back to neutral. Come up to a high kneel, and I want you to take your right foot now out to the side. So your right foot comes right out beside you. That's it. And left hand comes down to the earth. And then you're going to bring your right hand up and overhead so it comes down by your ear. Lovely. So reaching away through your right fingertips. Trying to keep your shoulder blade down your back. Push your hips forwards. And try and find a nice comfortable breath here. And then from here, come back to your all fours position. Tuck your toes underneath. Push into your hands, lift your tailbone, push into your toes and come up to downward dog. And when you get there, pushing the heels away one at a time. So you stretch out the back of your legs, you warm up your hamstrings. And then on an inhale, come over your hands. You might want to shift your toes back slightly to come to plank pose. If you need to drop your knees here, it's absolutely fine to drop your knees. We're going to take a few breaths here in plank. And then drop knees if you want to. Try and keep your elbows close to your body as you lower yourself all the way down to the earth. So point your toes to the tops of your feet are resting on the earth. Push the tops of your feet lightly into the earth. Tuck your tailbone. You want to push your pubic bone gently into the earth and lift your belly slightly. Shoulder blades down your back. And then inhaling, pushing into your hands, coming up to cobra. So again, if you're right down here, that's absolutely fine. There is no obligation to reach any version of any pose. Work with your body and work with where your body is today. So tops of the feet are still lightly pushing into the earth. Glutes and thighs are strong. Make sure tailbone stays firmly tucked. As always, any lower back issues, then ease right off here. And then from here, exhale and come up to your all fours position. So you might need to adjust slightly. And then just sit back, buttocks back on your heels, and just give your hands a little bit of shake out. So wrists might be feeling this a little bit. We spent quite a lot of time using hands. Awesome. Come back to all fours. We're going to inhale, lift the right leg up behind. And then exhale, bring the knee towards the nose. Inhale, take it back up behind again. Exhale again, bring knee to nose. Inhale, leg comes up behind. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose. And then pop the knee back down on the earth. And swap sides. So inhaling, lift the left leg up behind. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. And then inhale, bring the leg back down to the earth. And this time you're going to bring your left foot so it comes to the outside of your left hand. Bring your left forearm onto your thigh. And then take some nice big circles with your right arm. So really opening this time the right hand side of your body. Nice and fluid. Bring the hand back down to the earth, both hands on the earth, and then take some rotations with the hips. So again, these circles can be as small or as big as feels right for your body. Work with where you are. Change directions. Notice again if the sides feel different. They may well do. We're all lopsided. And then bring that back to neutral. Come up so you're kneeling, you're in a high kneel. Bring the left foot out to the side. And then bring the right hand down so it's placed on your mat. And then inhaling, lifting the left hand up and down by your ear. So this is a variation of half moon pose. Reaching away with your fingertips. Keeping your shoulder blade down your back. Pushing your hips forwards. And then exhale, bring the hand back down to the earth and come back to your all fours position. So keeping a nice right angle here with your hip joints. You're just going to walk your hands forwards and start to bring your head down to the earth. So you might find that you can get the crown of your head down to the earth. And if so, that's where to stay. If you've got quite a lot of shoulder flexibility, you might find that you can bring your forehead down to the earth. Or possibly even your chin. But as always, don't push this. Work with your body and where your body is today. Breathing into the stretcher. This is quite intense through the shoulders. Nice, deep, even breaths. And then lift yourself back up from wherever you are. Walk your hands back up to all fours. Tuck your toes underneath. Push into your hands. Lift your tailbone. Come up to downward dog. This time we're going to keep the dog static. So heels are pushing down towards the earth. Your feet are about hip width apart. Hands are about shoulder width apart. Shoulder blades down your back. Try and keep a nice long neck here. And then inhale, come over your hands, come to plank position. So you might need to shift your feet back very slightly. So drop your knees if you need to here. Taking a few breaths here in plank. And then exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the earth. So again, tucking your toes so your tops of your feet are pushing into the earth. Tuck your tailbone, push your pubic bone down towards the earth. Very slight lift in the belly. Shoulder blades down the back. Hands are down either side of your chest. And on an inhale, push into your hands to come up to cobra. So as I said before, any lower back stories, then come right the way down. Don't take any pinching in the lower back here. That's a bad sign. Nice, even breath. And then push into the hands, exhale. Come all the way back, sit buttocks back on your heels, bring your forehead down to the mat, hands stay out in front to come to child's pose. Few breaths here. And then on an inhale, come up and find your way very gently to lay down on your back. Awesome. So bring your left leg out straight in front of you. So left leg is out straight on the floor, right knee is bent. And then place the toes of your right foot underneath the back of your left knee. Bring your hands out if you have space to a T shape. Otherwise, just allow them to rest down by your sides wherever you have space to do so. And then you're going to try and keep your right shoulder down on the earth, but you're going to drop your right knee across towards the left hand side. So you'll end up in a bit of a twisty position. So you'll probably find that your right buttock lifts off the floor. It's unlikely your knee will reach the floor. Shoulder blades stay down. Just taking a few breaths here. And then bringing yourself back down so you're flat down on your mat. Foot back flat on the earth. And we're going to swap sides. So bend the left leg, plant the foot on the floor, straighten the right leg out in front of you. And then bring the left toes, so your toes are just underneath your right knee, underneath the back of your right knee. Arms stay in the same position, and then start to drop your left knee over to your right side. So again, trying to keep the shoulder blade as much as possible down on the earth. It's highly unlikely that your knee will reach the earth. Taking a few breaths here, breathing into the stretch. And then finding your way back to neutral, so back to your back. Bring the left leg down on the mat so it meets the right. Allow your feet to drop out to the sides. Bring your hands down beside you, a little away from your body, palms up towards the sky. Shoot your shoulder blades down your back. And we're going to relax here for a few minutes in Shavasana or relaxation. So there is nothing more for you to do. You can just lay, allow your body to absorb the benefits of the practice. You can let go of any attention to your breath. You can let go of the need to do anything. Just allow your body a few moments of complete rest. So gently wiggle fingers and toes. Drop head from side to side. And then find your way to one side. Doesn't matter which side. And very gently find your way back to seated. Bring your hands up overhead in the Prana Mudra, so palms open towards the sky. Hands come together overhead to the crown of your head. To your third eye for wisdom and clarity of thought. To your lips and then your throat for peace and love in all that we say. And to your heart space to love unconditionally. So thank you all for sharing Tuesday's practice. Namaste.